related to second language acquisition. Now we look at the third myth or a third story that is often told to us when we are involved in the learning and teaching of second language. So this myth says that the more time we give or the more exposure we give to the children of the second language, the more better will they learn, and their learning of the second language will also be quicker than those children who have less exposure to their to the second language. Now, this led to the evolving of these immersion programs. So what happens in immersion programs, as I described earlier, that in immersion program, there is absolutely no use of the first language. And the whole focus and everything, all classroom instruction, everything is in the second language. So when L1 is not given any space in the classroom, that means a lot of space is taken up by the second language. So this space given to the second language in immersion programs is based on this belief that the more exposure we give to the learners of second language, the better they will learn it and the quicker they will learn it also. So that is why we see often in our own English medium schools also, and even in the bilingual programs that are designed for other minorities in US and UK, that although some subjects are taught bilingually, however, most of the times the more emphasis is given to English. So, interestingly, research findings also do not support this view or this story, and it argues that the increased exposure in school settings may not speed the acquisition, and it might not help the children because at times there are several other factors that come into play affecting the speed of language acquisition. So children in bilingual settings also have been shown to learn second language with equal efficiency as that of those children who have learned, who have been exposed to immersion programs at an earlier age. So researchers also caution, or they warn us that we need to be careful of withdrawing the first language too early. It is important for the child to develop the literacy skills in the first language and to be able to know the first language before being put in an immersion program. And research would say that having developed a first language system will also somehow help the child to develop the second language system more efficiently. So bilingual classrooms have been found very useful to allow the children to develop their skills up on the right grade level at their given age. Such classrooms also reinforce the bond between home and school and allow the children to participate more effectively in schools. Now, this does make a lot of sense if the children don't know the second language and they are stopped from using any of their first language, which they are just beginning to use. Then we actually close down all means of communication for the children to appropriate the new knowledge, the content-based knowledge they're trying to learn. The questioning what language do they use to ask questions? Which language do they use to communicate with their peers if they are not to use their first language and they don't know their second language? So they become at times what Cummins call semilinguals. They neither learn their first language so well, nor do they learn their second language well. So it is argued that if children acquire first language literacy skills, it becomes easier for them to do the same in their second language.